Hey everyone, this is Alaska from Call Out Culture. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. And if you are enjoying the podcast and you feel inspired to start your own, let me tell you about the system that we use. It is called Anchor. Best things about Anchor, it's free. There's tools that allow you to create and record and edit your podcast right from your phone and your computer. You can even add a song from Spotify directly into your episodes. The possibilities are endless of what you could create, whether it's like music analysis or your own radio show or something that the world's never heard before. I don't know what that is. You figure that out. Not my job, yours. Anchor is going to distribute the podcast for you, so it'll be heard on Spotify, Apple, and all the other podcast you can use. Like all you do is you upload your podcast, and boom, it appears in the other feeds. You can also make money through advertisements like this, or you can also set up like your own sort of Patreon fan support thing. There's no minimum listenership. And everything you need to make your podcast is in one place. So if you want to do a podcast, you want to be like us here at Call Out Culture, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started.
Welcome to Call Out Culture Podcast with Alaska, Curly Castro, and Zilla Rock.
There once was a young lad who went to a university that was confused for a temple. Within that university, they used to do screenings for movies yet to hit the public strata. One day, one of these movies was called The Matrix. And I sat 5 rows deep in our little mini movie theater, unbeknownst about what I was going to experience. And the minute the damn thing said, this is more like $20.99, it's not $19.99, I stood up in a frenzy and turned to everybody because I was pretty much crazy at that point in school. I told y'all, I told each and every one of y'all, I told y'all. It was one of the worst movies for me to see at my conspiracy heights. And today's topic is The Matrix and its subsequent sequels, trilogies, and quadrilogies.
Quadrilogy. It joins cannabis as the rare quadrilogy piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're
keeping the legacy of quadrilogy quality up to snuff.
Yeah, we need to talk about quadrilogies. Part 1, The Matrix. Part 2, Cannabis. Coming next week on the series. Investigative reports on Call Out Culture. We're Call Out Culture. We're back. We're all here for the first time in weeks.
Yo.
Castro's here. Alaska's here. I'm here.
What's up, y'all?
We're doing it.
I know we don't usually. I'm not gonna say we don't usually do movie topics. We do whatever the hell we want. But we picked this in light of the 4th one coming out,
the quadrilogist,
and knowing that Alaska is like fuming at the mouth. We either hatred or love. We're not gonna tell y'all which. And we thought
take a real guess.
We thought it would be an interesting look into the film techno BDSM. These are the things that pop in my mind. Long leather singlets. Sunglasses that were not readily available for the public. You were looking around for the Morpheus sunglasses without the frames. And Alaska knows because we're glasses wearers. See, you just caught up. When they would come up like, where did you get that from? Also, if anybody's not familiar, I want to say Tascam, not even Samsung. That phone was created for the movie.
That phone was fire. The Nokia
the flip
joint?
Up phone. Yeah, it's Nokia.
Yeah.
That was.
I had a silver one like that. It didn't pop out. I had a silver Nokia, but it didn't pop. The bottom didn't extend.
That phone was jam back in the day.
It was incredible.
Yeah. And then they also, well before Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia made it popular, they made the Duster.
The Duster.
The Duster.
Yes.
Yeah. It was them and Undertaker.
Them and Columbine.
Columbine.
Right. Never buttoning up more than 1 or 2 buttons on a duster.
Yeah.
Always have to be free flowing and open.
Oh, it's gotta be. Yeah.
It's like a Steven Seagal thing, right? Wasn't he big on a duster?
I don't think
no. Steven Seagal used to have the like inlet
members
things.
Only?
Even though he would never wear weapons, but you would see him with like gun belts and things. He would wear those type of strappy things, but he wasn't. He'd do all of that nonsense, washing his hands. That's what I call Steven Seagal style.
Right.
Thoroughly rinsing his hands. It's funny because I watched a bunch of videos on debunking martial art myths, and he was like at the top of all the lists.
He's the original Frank Dukes. Everything he said was just complete fucking.
But
lie.
even worse, because you got to go into it. So I don't know. Alaska, I don't know if you're familiar. So they have these people that do this psychic martial arts, and they don't touch each other, and these people fall.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I'm not serious. And so what happens, of course, the teacher, sensei, whatever, has to be in it with the students when they do these demonstrations. And then what will happen is an actual sensei master or a karate expert will go find these people and really challenge them to this no touch knockout thing. And somebody had the nerve to say, well, if they don't believe in it, they can neutralize it. What?
Come on, bro.
Anyway, so Steven Seagal is at the top of that list. If you notice, the thing he practiced was an actual practice, but it wasn't practical, if you will. We gotta let people grab your wrist and get close to you and all that stuff. Or I could just hit you with a pole.
Oh my god, this is bizarre. Well,
it's like that dude now. There's a dude now that they keep showing videos of. He's like some police combat trainer where it's like the guy will have a gun on him and he like runs up to him sideways.
Yes.
And then grabs his arm.
It's
like we shot 7 times by now.
And everybody ends up in heaven when they try it out.
Yeah.
All right. So let me say this because Castro opened up the show beautifully with his conspiracy brother era reactions to seeing the Matrix, thinking it was indeed real. I've talked about it on the show a few times. I'm gonna dig around and see if I can find it, and then see if I can find a CD player. I'll put it in the episode if I can. My first rap group, we were all about the Matrix. Okay, we had a video that never came out where we trained for months, where I was Agent Smith.
Alaska trained for months. They had choreography.
We had a choreography. We shot underground with a generator all day. We had multiple locations. I had the earpiece and the suit. Video never came out. Okay.
Do you have it still?
No,
it needs to go up on YouTube.
No, I saw it once.
He has the audio.
I saw the video once on VHS in Delaware. That was very 2000. The very
videos like that are cumbersome and all types of nonsense happening. You end up seeing them one time. You see one time on VHS
in Delaware. Shouts to Fat Cousin. I think Fat Cousin on Twitter. I think he might have it.
He might have it. Okay.
I'll hit him up. But we did a song for the video. The song was called The Matrix, and then we had another song. I forget what it was called, but the hook was "Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow," and then we sampled parts from the Matrix and we rapped with this super hood ass group in Baltimore.
Wait. Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow.
Yes.
So was this a Matrix song or
and Vogue? It was a
blend of both.
Correct.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Because he said free your mind. And then
free your mind, Mr. Anderson. Yes. Or the rest will follow. Yes. Don't be too blind, Mr. Anderson. Yes. Don't be too shallow.
What a great song.
Wow.
Great song. That was a great song. I actually heard that this weekend. I was like, wow.
Remember when
that power ballad?
Dog, no, that's no when before you can read me, you got to do that.
So yeah. That one.
With the one line she says something like, I like black music, I like black hair. She says something like that doesn't mean that I'm a prostitute. No. Yo, and Vogue was incredible. They had quite a run. So anyway, my connection to the first Matrix film runs deep, and it's very hilarious.
Very deep.
So if I can find any of these old CDs and I can upload them in time, it'll be at the end of the episode somewhere. So Alaska, what was your first initial relationship to the Matrix?
I was blown away, man. So I ended up like coming to it late. I saw it at Castro. You remember like the $3 theater over on like 57th Street?
Yeah, and they would play stuff
like second run movies.
So they would put it like, let's say Wild Wild West came out in March. It would be at the $3 movie theater in May, April, something like that. Played full on digital, whatever. Like they didn't mince quality, but if you wait a while, you miss the initial run of a theater, you can run up 57th Street and catch it.
So I saw it there, and I almost got into a fight with a dude in the crowd because he was being a dick.
This story is great. This is great.
The movie was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it in my entire life. It was completely mind blowing. And I mean, I don't think that's like something unique to me or to anybody else. Like that shit was a fucking mind blowing movie.
Nah, I think. Go ahead. The last time I mean, go ahead.
No, everything that's happened since has tarnished it quite a bit. But the initial movie and the initial time seeing it, nothing was like that ever. It was like before and after.
All right, so let's hit this part now. Okay, so the first one kind of goes without saying. I think everyone who's listening to the show, we're all of a certain age where we were there live when this shit was. It'd be weird for someone's like, oh, I just saw it for the first time 2 years ago and I'm 40. Like that would be very odd, right? It was a literal cultural phenomenon, right?
Yes.
So then, okay, Matrix.
Well, wait, don't get ahead of yourself. Let's do this first.
Okay.
In the trailer, even though they played their high card, they showed a filming technique that had never been seen before.
Right.
And that was what I felt like was the biggest hiccup of theirs. So for the first one, you create bullet time. And you get your man David Guetta. He started dyeing his hair all silver, whatever. He was wearing long trenches. The second and third ones, you should have created a second mind-blowing shot and a third mind-blowing shot. Just to keep up that tradition of the shots. They were like, oh, wow, because the second and third one they dug way into the computer-generated animation as opposed to figuring out another mind-blowing practical shot.
Yeah, they rested on their laurels.
Yes.
I agree. And okay, so the new one just hit, and then I watched that on HBO Max, and then I went back and watched the second and third one in preparation for this show because I like to do my research while my family's sleeping and take my notes. Have mostly 3 sheets to the fucking wind at this point because I got some good ass whiskey for Christmas. But
did you get that book?
What book?
Raekwon.
No, I didn't get that, man.
Okay.
Shit, I forgot what book you're talking about. I'm sorry. No, I'm hoping to get the Raekwon book, Staircase to State. Apparently, he shits on RZA a lot in the book from the clips I've seen.
Okay,
which is interesting.
I just remember it was coming up, and I didn't get a chance to ask you if you had gotten the book. So.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get to the new one, which we've all seen, Alaska, which you only just watched the new one, correct?
I mean, I've seen the other ones in the past, and there's no need to go back and watch them again.
Okay, so I did.
Yeah.
Here's some of my notes from Reloaded. My first note was Roy Jones ? Alaska, do you remember Roy Jones in the first 10 fucking minutes of The Matrix Reloaded? Because I didn't remember that.
I do now. Like I totally forgot about it.
Roy Jones.
I'll do it, Morpheus. Just see what Deadlock gonna do to you. No, see what Deadbolt gonna do to you. So let me tell you what's wrong with his appearance. One, he was mostly in the video game. Right? There's a lot more scenes of him in the video game, which they shot all 3 at the same time.
Okay.
And 2, I'm gonna tell you the main issue with that line is you gave a nickname to a character we have yet to meet.
Correct.
So General Locke, you're calling him Deadbolt. We don't know who these people are.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? So now you're leading us. We're meeting too many people that we haven't even met before.
Right.
And, you're starting us off. I know they were trying to start us off running, but I remember that being thing. And I was like, we don't even know Locke yet. How are you calling him Deadbolt to the audience?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And at the end, he goes, Morpheus, you got 36 hours. Bring your crew here. And that's the end of the scene.
It's obvious, like it's definitely one of those movies that like they never planned out a trilogy.
No.
Okay, so let me dive in here. Okay. And bear with me, gentlemen. So some people are not familiar with the name, but the person that wrote the original screenplays for both The Terminator and The Matrix is a woman named Sophia Stewart. Now, a lot of that has been debunked, and I'm only telling y'all that is because I'm not dissing or nothing, but she's kind of a nightmare in court. So when things got brought up in court, initial filings and stuff, she gets rid of her counsel. I know because I was friends with one of her counsel at one time, and it kind of goes off the rails every time it comes to fruition. So here's what I propose to y'all. Let's just say that's the case. And at bare minimum, they give you the basic story. Screenwriting contest, Smitch's scripts. It might have been a Universal box. I don't know, but it was one movie company box. And within that, because if you talk to Miss Stewart, the Terminator and the Matrix go hand in hand. Terminator, you're fighting the one machine from the future. And the Matrix, the future has been realized. The machines have won. And you're still fighting.
That's amazing.
So
wait, say this again. Say this one more time.
No, that is amazing.
Okay.
So Terminator and the Matrix, probably tied to each other if you believe what I'm saying about Miss Stewart.
Okay.
The Terminator is one, you're fighting against a machine sent back from the future to fortify their future.
Right.
In the Matrix, the machines have won.
Right. Okay.
And they're trying to maintain the status quo.
Yes. Okay.
Now let me get to what Alaska's talking about.
Okay.
Source material is very important here. And this is where we have things like Game of Thrones letting us down. Mm-hmm. So if you can watch the first Matrix, is a very much contained story. I'll even put it in better layman's terms. The first Matrix was in the Nebuchadnezzar. The whole movie occurred inside the hovercraft. It didn't go anywhere.
No.
They were in the Matrix, jumping around, but they didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Second movie occurred in Zion. Now we're at Zion. We're seeing what Zion is. Zion. These machines are saving our lives. Our lives are saved by machines. And in the third movie, we finally see Machine City. Now, to Alaska's point, when you leave the plateau of the source material, you're flailing in every direction. The first movie was very well contained, and you could have shut the door on the movie with him flying up to the screen, and that could have been it. And we could have took our little logic, stories and theories and ran rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have any more source material, you're picking at scraps. You're making things into what is your movie. And if you notice with the second and third one, that's when simulacra and simulation come into play, and a matrix within a matrix, and philosophies. And also, we'll get to it because the third one is way more solidified than the first two, the trans allegory. Now that they've made all the money
all day,
they can put more of those things into play. Mm-hmm. But again, to Alaska's point, we've left the station. So all of the goodies and the new ways, and there is no spoon.
Right.
All that's out the window because we've already tackled all that. He's flown away.
Here it is. So peep it. Okay. So my second note in Reloaded is so much talking.
Because they're trying to explain how they've taken over the story now.
Correct.
Pretty much the Wachowskis have taken over the story.
Yes.
Terminator to Terminator 2. Terminator 1 is a very vastly different movie than Terminator 2.
It's Terminator 1 is a slasher movie.
Correct.
Thank you. Horror movie.
Right.
Horror with the robot leg. Terminator 2 was an action bonanza. A lot of daytime shots.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like to me, that
second one, like they're in the mall, they're in the desert. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on. Yeah. The first one is it's nightclubs. She's working as a waitress.
Right. She's not even equipped to fight these machines off just yet. She's very green. Right. And then so what you have to do is for the second one, you have to speed her up. Mm-hmm. Make her into this paramilitary. You have to miscast her son because nobody really knows how old Edward Furlong is in the movie.
Oh, he's a shit.
Right. But I like him, but he's supposed to be 10 or 13 or 15. What is it? Somebody help me.
I would guess 13 probably.
And it's a totally different movie.
Right.
With the Terminator now redeemed himself. And again, if you believe Miss Sophia Stewart, she was never gonna have no Terminator redeem himself or herself and fight for the humans and all that stuff. Of course not. But I told you, fighting against the humans, machines win, humans still find a way to fight. Nothing in there I have a pet Terminator that helps me take care of the more advanced Terminator, which doesn't make any sense anyway.
No.
All right.
And
if you're sending back Terminators, you send 3 back. Yes. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
So my next note from watching Reloaded live, and this ties into trying to up the ante because the first one like literally remade cinema and action scenes and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
My third note is the courtyard fight scene, the first 30 minutes when Neo fights 700 Agent Smiths, right?
Mm-hmm.
Half of it is he's doing kung fu, he's fighting all of these dudes, and then the other half is my exact note was Neo Geo 3DO PlayStation 1 Activision graphics. Because the CGI is so bad, it looks like fucking Gumby.
Now,
where Neo turns into a CGI Gumby and Agent Smith turns into Gumby.
I have to bite back against that.
It's so distracting. It's so bad.
But whereas Quentin Tarantino went full anime in Kill Bill and it didn't take you out the movie. I think we were supposed to assume that we would, like when I watched the scene, when I watched the Burly Brawl, first of all, I'm watching, think about it, I'm Matrix. I don't even know the term, y'all. I'm Matrix fanatic. So I'm seeing clips of the Burly Brawl. And they say, oh, for every 5 Smiths, there's 20 or 5. I was like, what is going on here?
Right.
So when I watched it, I didn't have in my idea that this needs to look perfect because I saw them sliding in some of the kicks and spins.
Here's the bone I had to pick with you. The first movie was perfect with the fight scenes.
Not that many. There wasn't that many things to manipulate on the
right.
scene.
But it was them trying to be too future for 2002 tech. That's my point. Like, even when I was watching it, and I was like you, I was Matrix. Clearly, I did a fucking 2 songs about the Matrix. In the theater, I was like, this kind of looks fucking bullshit. When you're seeing a rubberized Neo and a rubberized Agent Smith in a courtyard after the first 10 minutes of the fight, then it becomes a CGI mess to where he picks up a fucking a bar out of the ground. He hits Smith into a pile of other Smiths, and it makes a bowling pin sound.
Stop. Why did you bring that up? Stop.
Makes a bowling pin sound.
Wow. Alaska,
like we're buddy bumpers, bro.
In that fight where it goes like he hit a strike. And some sound engineer put that in there. It's 2 times. When he hits him the first time and then another time he kicks him. Right. So the scene was very difficult to shoot. So when I watched the behind the scenes, I was already ready for the scene in the movie because I didn't expect it to be pitch perfect. That was me. But at the same time, I got one for you.
What?
The CGI with the twins is great, but why do they have dreadlocks? And 2, what is their purpose? Did they kill anybody? Did they hurt anybody? Did they cut anybody?
So apparently they were vampires. Because the Merovingian, whatever his name is,
Merovingian.
He gets way too much screen time everywhere. Even in the new one, they just let him talk for 20 minutes on screen again. He apparently is like the Lucifer, where he's guarding the quote unquote
rogue programs that are supposed to be deleted
Yes.
Because that version of the Matrix proved futile.
Right.
And he provided sanctuary for them.
Right. So and then they get to a fight where Neo fight. Okay. So I started writing down in the second one, all of Neo's powers. You ready for this?
Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go. This is good.
Okay. Number one, he has super strength. Because there's a part where he picks up one Smith and throws him 5 fucking stories at this guy. So apparently he's super strength.
You remember that part?
He has super strength.
Screen.
Right.
He's a burly bro. The guy doesn't come back down until like 2 minutes later.
He just throws him up 5 flights. Right. Second power. He has flight, which he decides I'm going to fight 60 Agent Smiths rather than just fly the fuck away and get out of there. So, but he can fly. Okay.
Right.
Then he can float and flip. Whenever he can defy gravity by floating and flipping sideways.
But
whenever he jumps,
in the Matrix, that was kind of established in the first one, though.
Right?
That's where I'm at.
Wait. Okay, wait. That's his third power. His fourth power is when he's fighting in the Merovingian, he can summon weapons off the walls like Magneto. There's a katana blade 20 feet away. He summons it off the wall into his hand, so he can summon weapons. That's his fourth power. His fifth power is he can stop bullets. We know that, right? His sixth power, which we know in the new movie, he can create force fields at will. His seventh power,
part of the new movie.
His seventh power is he becomes the Vision, where he can put his hand inside still bodies in the Matrix,
digital
like bodies, and remove a bullet, and then put his hand back inside and repump her heart. Wait, hold on. I'm not done. I'm not done his powers. Then in Revolutions, in the Matrix and in the real world, he goes blind, but he could still move around and see things pretty well. Then, that's his last power. He could still see things while blind.
All right,
got
pull
9
back
powers.
the Matrix Revolutions and pull back Reloaded. What they did was they overpowered him throughout the first movie.
That's my point.
So
my point is this.
Wait. Because they overpowered him, he's not in the movie. Don't y'all notice that?
He's what?
He's not in Reloaded. He's not in it.
He is in the fight scenes.
But then when they close the door on him, he's in the mountains. He has to fly in,
and then he flies. He said, "quote from the mountains, quote to the city." He flies halfway around the world in 20 minutes to save Morpheus. So he's essentially Superman with telekinetic skills.
So you can just do whatever you want.
He can what?
There's no world.
Right, but if there's no world,
so he doesn't have to fly halfway across the world.
Right. So why does he choose to do kung fu hand-to-hand fighting if he has 9
they
superpowers?
give him all of these powers, but this is where their story is taking flight. But he has no understanding. And the way the Wachowskis explain it, they say you already made the choices. You just have to understand why you made the choices. So you have these powers, you don't understand how to use them, and that keeps him in this loophole. You know what I'm saying? Because he can make the better decisions with different powers, but he doesn't because he doesn't know what he's doing. First of all, you get trapped up in the Alps. Nobody tells you about back doors.
Right.
Like he still doesn't know about back doors all the way to the end of the movie because you know who knows back doors?
So
Smith knows back doors. Smith is back.
And then the Asian dude, the key dude, the key guard or whatever.
But Smith is in the back alleys like, surprising still. Like we don't even, all that.
But then also
there wouldn't be sequels to make them millions of dollars if they're like, he has all his powers, he can fix everything, we're done.
Right. So they had to come up with clever ways of pulling him off the board. Close the door first at the chateau. Make him confused by the Merovingian and running tasks.
I was confused by the Merovingian. What are you saying, Les?
You might be overselling it by saying it's clever.
No, I didn't mean clever in terms of like great writing. I meant they have to take him off the board. Because if you leave him with everybody else.
Yes, they did.
You know what I'm saying? There wouldn't be the highway chase because he would just grab everybody and flew away.
Yeah, so my note is he is essentially Magneto, the Vision, and Superman with a sadomasochist fetish. He's a BDM fetishist.
All right, Alaska, let me ask you this because
and I love him. Trust me. I'm joking because I love Keanu.
I got that.
I love him.
Alaska, was the lobby scene realistic to you before they go to the roof on the first one? Did that work out for you when they shot up all the security? And the security guards and on the first one. Did that work
at the end, right?
Yeah, at the end.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it worked in the movie.
It's incredible.
Because he was still figuring everything out.
In the third one, where they go to Club Hell and the people flip to the upside down.
Oh my God.
I'm asking Alaska a question. How did you take that scene?
I laughed. I was like, it's terrible.
It's like fucking laughable.
Did it come across like they're running out of ideas?
I didn't even think about it in that way. I was just like, this is stupid.
Okay.
I forgot about it. I forgot about it until I watched Revolutions last night, and I'm like, oh my God, they're at a fucking S&M club where there's just dudes with like bondage masks on the ceiling. Like, what is happening? Like, this cost $200 million to make, and they were like, yo, we revolutionized action 2 years ago. Now we're gonna have dudes with gag balls in their mouth.
But wait, I want to pull you back from that, Zeke. I don't agree. I don't think they revolutionized action movies. I think they revolutionized shooting certain scenes in action movies. Yeah. So if you were to advance that and apply it, like I was saying, come up with a new shot each evening.
Right.
Then we're not sitting there. We're not like John Wick is great with the action. Why? Because the stunt coordinator directs it and stuntmen. A choreographer and stuntmen figure out, well, we could just fall flat because that's their expertise. The Wachowskis are catching up to the story that Miss Stewart penned in the first place.
Okay. How about this? Why don't we take a quick break? Because I want to talk about the Wachowskis. Real, like I just have a separate thing I wanted to point out about them.
Okay.
Because after watching now all of the Matrix movies, I have some interesting, or I would actually like to get you guys what your opinions are too, because you guys know your shit. So let's do our first break. Co-out culture. We're all here talking the Matrix quadrilogy live together.
It's that time again. We're back. Career Crooks, me and Small Professor. New album, Never at Peace, available now worldwide, streaming on all platforms. Very, very, very limited pieces of merch left. You can scoop it at wreckingcrew.bandcamp.com. If you've heard the Live from the Liner Notes episode, you know what it is, you know what we're about. If you haven't, go back and peep it. Play the new record featuring Shrapnel, I Alive, and Donovan Days, Blueprint, DJ Manipulator, and that's all she wrote. New banger, me and Small Pro Never at Peace Career Crooks available now.
What is up, internet humans? This is Wally Clark. When I am not swimming the Panama Canal in Thames or teaching infants how to steal, I am listening to the Call Out Culture podcast with Zilla, Curly Castro, and Alaska. Make sure you check out my new record, Goon, fully produced by Flu and available on vinyl through Tough Kong Records. And remember, you are nothing, and I am everything.
Hey friends, it's me, your friendly neighborhood podcast host, Alaska. And I'm here to tell you about an exciting new project that I just released with my friend Jason Griff. You might know Jason Griff from his many appearances on the Call Out Culture podcast, as well as his groundbreaking work with the Griff Scorsese Midnight Express album. Also, his solo project, Fireside Chats. You need a sweater and a bearskin rug for that one, fellas. Anyway, we just dropped a new record called Human Zoo. And Human Zoo examines the cages that we put around society and the self-imposed cages we put around ourselves. It features exciting tracks like Reboot, featuring Fat Boy Sharif, and Animal Farm, featuring Love Ulysses. We also have additional vocals from the likes of Alex Ludovico. Not Ludovico, Ludovico with a C. See what I'm saying there, people? And Prem Rock. And then the All Hook All the Time track, featuring vocal stylings from Curly Castro, Zilla Rocca, Def C, Rob Sonic, Breezely Bruin, and Open Mike Eagle. If you like the rap music, folks, you're gonna want to get this record. It's a must-have for every true aficionado, and you could get it at insubordinaterecords.com. Alaska, out.
Call Out Culture podcast. We're here. Talking the Matrix quadrilogy. So,
Yo.
The Wachowskis.
Yo.
After watching all of their Matrix, I've seen almost all of their filmography, right?
No, you haven't.
I said almost. I didn't say.
You didn't watch Jupiter Ascending?
No, and I did not watch Sense 8 because I'm not watching that.
I watched Jupiter Ascending, Alaska. I watched it one and a half times. I'm not watching any
of their movies. I don't even know how they fucking keep getting work.
Alaska, one of the characters is a dog. Like he's a human, but they splice
Tatum, the dog.
They slice. If you read the description, he's a dog. I'm not being funny. They spliced his DNA with dog DNA so he'd be loyal to this one. He's a dog.
Dog, I watched 20 minutes of Cloud Atlas. I was like, this is what the I just turned it off.
No, that's a lot.
It's so bad.
So one of my homegirls got into Sense8 real heavy, but I think on some TV show shit.
Yeah,
she got swallowed into it. Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at the Wachowskis, right? Here's their work. Okay, the first movie,
they start off hot out the box.
Okay, but check it out. They did Bound with Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon. Fucking classic, great, like Skinamax type of movie, but kind of ill too with Joe Pantoliano. Right. They also wrote the movie Assassins with Sylvester Stallone and Antonio Banderas.
I love that movie. Okay. Cat and Mouse movie. Very minimal information. Your homegirl was pumped up too much of a character. Who was it? Juliet something? What's her name?
Julianne Moore.
They pumped up cat eyes. I was like, you're not this skilled. I would have believed anybody else in that. You're not. She keeps running back to get the cat, and she's leaving the cat, and she's not listening to Sylvester Stallone. Good.
So the all-time level up goes from Assassins and Bound to The Matrix, right?
Right.
Okay. So,
and they had to make Bound to convince Warner Brothers to give them the money for The Matrix.
Right. Okay. So here's their next directorial stuff: Matrix Reloaded. Then Enter the Matrix video game. Then Animatrix Flight of the Osiris.
They curated the animations.
But
Yeah, they wrote it.
sure. But
Yeah,
they
wrote a
mix,
bunch of it. Yeah.
Right. Then they do Enter the Matrix video games, the Matrix Revolutions, the Matrix Online video game, Matrix The Path of Neo. So they spend 6 years straight Matrix University. That's their only job for 6 years, right? Okay. Then you go to Speed Racer. I'm one of the biggest Speed Racer fans in the world.
He is.
They did write V for Vendetta.
Right. And we'll get it. Right. And then they did and wrote and then directed
another
V for
bottle
Vendetta.
movie I might want to add. He didn't go anywhere, neither should he. Neither did she. They didn't leave the compound for the whole movie.
Yeah, and it's like a very Bush era movie that I'd never go back to and never care to see again in my life. It's just not interesting at all. And then you get to, after that shit, you get to Cloud Atlas, disaster, Jupiter Ascending, disaster, Sense8, I don't know, and then The Resurrections, which is only written by or directed by Lana. And the other, and then the sister is out, right? So they have a really, really bad batting average. That's my point. Like really historically bad. Say it again.
They Kevin Mossed it.
Kevin Moss, early 90s Yankees reference. I'm here.
Comes out the box super hot.
Yep.
And then can't hit the curve.
Can't hit a curve, bro. Like it's
but
bad.
That's the thing about the two of them. I don't know. I mean, they did bound in smaller pieces, but there was something missing from them to me of being filmmakers where they'll keep chomping at the bit. Everything got to be a smash hit. And if it's not a smash hit, then you're not willing to work on tiny minutia movies that might turn out to be better, but it's not some big blockbuster. It's like they got their nut and they couldn't go back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just think like overall the Wachowskis, clearly they've impacted culture of the 20th century forever. Even we can even know, like, even just the fashion of the first Matrix permeated everything. People wearing oversized sweaters with holes and thumb holes and fucking all black leather and fucking Ray-Bans.
Kanye's whole fashion line is based on the Matrix.
Literally, you're right.
Good
like
pull.
Yeezy shit is like, it's like monotone muted Matrix clothes, right?
Yep.
And so all of that shit from the, the way Morpheus looked but seemingly they've had one good idea ever. That's it.
But it wasn't their idea.
It wasn't even their idea.
Correct. But I mean, like in terms of how to shoot it.
No, I mean
the action sequences. The bullet camera, all that shit.
I totally give them that. They did take pen from paper and put it on film. I'll give them that. That's as much as I'll give them. But that's why the story thins all the way out.
Right.
All right. For instance, The Hobbit is one book. I love The Hobbit. It's not 3 movies under any circumstances. You are really pounding that meat.
That's too. Wait, is there multiple Hobbit movies? I never seen The Hobbit.
They made The Hobbit into a trilogy.
They did. Okay, because I only saw Lord of the Rings trilogy. I didn't watch The Hobbit trilogy. Okay.
Growing up, me and Alaska read The Hobbit. Very popular book.
I read The Hobbit.
There's the animated show as well.
I watched the animated joint. I watched that back in the day.
It's crazy with the Homeboy had the nose. You know what I'm saying? But for instance, that is not a trilogy. Under any auspices, you cannot stretch that into 3 movies, and they did. So you see what I'm saying? So it's like they're trying to rape us for the money. And I'm not saying the Matrix did that.
I am. I'm saying they did.
Okay. All right. So yeah, continue your premise.
Anyway, so I'm just pointing out, like when I look back at their stuff, I'm like, they really coasted off the first movie for what, 19 years?
6 years. Oh, I mean, you're stretching it all the way out.
Even like get work now doing another one because HBO Max and Warner Brothers needed content. I mean, like Jupiter Ascending, no one gives a fuck. Cloud Atlas, no one gives a fuck. Speed Racer, kind of cool because it's like very catchy and bright, but no one's like thinking about that. V for Vendetta, like truly outside of what's your name shaving her head, no one's watching V. It left no cultural imprint anywhere, nor did Revolutions or Reloaded.
And again, but even V for Vendetta, that wasn't even their material.
Right, it's Alan Moore.
A completely screenplayed out Alan Moore joint.
Right, which he disavows as he always does. Now, I will say about Reloaded, for example, like the Trinity highway scene is fucking great action when she's on the motorcycle with the Keymaster dude.
Indeed.
That's phenomenal.
Indeed.
Like that's great work. But other than that, it's like.
But
pretty
every movie
stunted.
has like one moment like that,
Signature
except for the
pieces.
new one. The new one didn't have any good movies.
No, not the action was very much tertiary. It wasn't even secondary. It was the third thing that was important in the movie.
So that's the question I want to ask then. Like, what when you watch Tarantino, when you watch Spike Lee, who we talked about on this show, no matter how good or bad the movies are, you at least know like this movie I'm watching by this director, whoever they are, they're going to give me the one thing that they really fucking shine with. So with Tarantino, it's dialogue. He's the best dialogue writer, right? Spike Lee, it's like you're nodding your head, but like he puts an emphasis on like writing.
No, that's fine. I think the writing is very impressive, but he's definitely not the best dialogue writer. But
I think he is. But
I totally disagree.
But Spike is like, I'm going to put in my message about whatever is bugging me at this moment inside this movie, whether it's about a bank robbery or a dude with an upset stomach in the hood. Like he's going to put in his thing of what's happening in the moment, like message. He's always going to do that, whether it's good or bad, right?
All right.
What are the Wachowskis about? What is it? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. If they were just like flashy Michael Bay motherfuckers, like, yo, we just make stupid popcorn action movies.
Unfortunately, if it was Michael Bay, the budget would have been 200 more. Seriously. Like, it would have been 400 million before they made back the money for the first one.
It's probably better.
I don't know, because the field has ran dry. You go into the well and there's no water in it.
They got nothing.
That's my point. So what are they? What is
the
their
story
thing?
going to do if they couldn't do? They should have left the story be. Now, mind you, I don't know what else they should have went to, but if they left the story be, then it could have existed in perpetuity, and then maybe you could come back some years later and do smaller stories out the Matrix. That's why the Animatrix works so well.
Animatrix is crazy.
There's one sequence in Animatrix where it's just a glitch in the Matrix, and kids are playing with it, and like this car is floating, and the cat starts floating until this hazmat team comes and wardens it off and fixes everything. Like those little things in the Matrix, because that's what the first one did. It opened up so many possibilities. People were telling their own stories. Zilly, you talk about a song.
Yes.
Like it opened up a landscape for people to create their own stories because we were under the auspices of a simulation. We don't know what's real. Anything could be real.
Right.
This could be real. That could be real. And when you they ran out of runway.
So here's my note about revolutions. Ready? I didn't have many.
No, I want Alaska to dive in this because that's what he
it's Revolutions is the new one, right?
No.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Resurrections. I thought we were talking about
Revolutions is the third one.
Yeah, I got nothing to say about that one.
It's 3 out of 4 of the quadrilogy. I wrote Revolutions is one of the ugliest movies ever. It would give Zack Snyder a boner. It's so
in terms of what do you mean?
Gray. Everything is just gray. The whole movie is gray. Everything's gray and red and black. Revolution.
Well, that's because what I say the
so
same
gross.
We're in the real world. We're outside where there's no sun. We're in Machine City, there's no sun. We're in Zion, there's no sun.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Everything that's pretty.
It's a fucking drag to watch.
Is what Cypher like. But that's where Cypher has a point. Not to betray and kill his homies.
Right.
But when he was sitting there with the heart being played and the
steak.
And the steak, and they just ate like a cream of corn.
Steak, like a steak and shit. Remember?
Yeah, like he was upset with Morpheus because he was fueled by, I don't like it here. It's cold.
Yes.
We do the same thing every day. We do what he tells us to do. And I'm pretty sure people lower level on his crew, they didn't get the full one spiel. They didn't go to Oracle and get like Cypher didn't go to Oracle and Cypher said, and Oracle said, you're gonna help save Morpheus from tripping over a building, and in turn he'll bump into an associate of Neo's and y'all will help. I don't think he got that message. No. In fact, I don't think he got a message. He was just a menial soldier. And that's why he was bound to betray them anyway. Because look what you have him doing. And look what he could be doing. Correct. Mr. Reagan, we need the launch codes. You know what I'm saying? But he's sitting there dining him out as opposed to this guy. Like, think about it. They kept wearing, you said it, the clothes with the holes in it, the recycling of clothes. I didn't see as many hovercrafts and as many port stations and as many ways you could load up kung fu and stuff. I didn't see no washing machine.
No.
I didn't see no soap products.
No.
I didn't see no soap products. I didn't see any running water.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they hooked up with a sewer system somewhere, because I'm pretty sure there's residual water. But if 100 years went without sewer running properly, all that water could evaporate. I'm just saying.
You're right. And so you're spending all this time in the real world, and it is a gross, dank, gray, gloomy fucking place, and I'm like, I just want to see some crazy fucking and I don't even want to see like all these CGI sentinels with the red eyeballs and the fucking extendo arms and drilling away. It's just like such a downer. And then at the very end, you have Neo in the rain. And again, I'm not an anime dude, so I'm not sure what movies and anime shows it ripped off. But my other note is like my only note for Revolutions is the final battle is a rubber CGI punch fest in the sky while it rains. Like that's the only good things.
Only good things are the aftermath of the punches, the rain being flown from the power of the punches when they bash into each other and the gravity starts being affected. But having everybody again, so this is where you sideline Smith. Bear with me, fellas. You sideline Neo by making him fall trick to all these back doors and stuff.
Good point.
You sideline Smith by making it so he knows the outcome he thinks he knows, so he doesn't have to participate fully with all his clones.
Right. And the thing is, like, okay, Hugo Weaving, he's fucking phenomenal. And all these movies,
up scenery,
he's great. Neo, again, listen, Keanu, he's phenomenal. He's literally just bewildered all the time and chill. Lawrence Fishburne, probably his most iconic part ever, right?
But I like Lawrence in the first one when he had something to do.
Yes.
And the second one, he was just kind of going through the motions. And the third one, he was a defeated puppy. He was a puppy that left at the bus station on a leash and nobody came back and got him.
And Carrie Ann Moss, clearly, like, this is her biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, without question.
When Morpheus, Neo said, oh, it was another form of control. I don't believe you. Think about Morpheus saying to the one he's been chasing for 20, 30 years, I don't believe what you're telling me, even though I know you went to the source.
Right.
So his whole world came crashing down.
And then my last note before, and we'll wrap up the first three movies, is how does the Oracle, who's a program, how does she know it? Is she the first algorithm? Like she's just predicting everything based on past behaviors and attitudes and choice? Like,
well, no, the Oracle was created as a byproduct of the first couple of matrices not taking hold. So because you had the architect with this math mind trying to figure out how to keep these humans, because it wasn't just plugging them up. They had to be at a certain level of happiness or sadness. They had to be interacting. That's what it wasn't just them plugged up. I think people missed that. They had to be like emoting, laughing, crying. That's why they had storylines.
Yes.
Inside the Matrix.
Right.
So so it has to work out that way in order for the energy to be generated properly, per se. Okay.
To keep the engine going of the Matrix.
Right.
And the architect sequence.
Oh, sorry. Let me finish.
Yeah,
sorry. So they created the Oracle because the architect in his application was too mathematic and they were losing hordes and hordes of crops. Okay. So we created an intuitive program, a more human program. How are you going to make humanity take to this alternate reality? Mm-hmm. Oh, make it like the 90s when everybody was into everything and, counteracting what the man was doing, maybe not, because that was working. And she came up with that. He didn't, if y'all remember. She came up with that, and 99% of the subjects took to the program.
So where does the prophecy come from? Because I feel like that's just, a classic hero story, Joseph Campbell trope. Like everything about Neo and Morpheus is built on a prophecy, but where?
The prophecy is the remainder. So when you like 3.14, there's always that remainder that keeps coming and popping up. So every time this successful version of the Matrix, not the sixth one, the third one, bear with me because the first two suck. The third one is working, right? There's always an anomaly, meaning there's always going to be remnants of these numbers. It's not an exact math.
Okay.
So when that happens, it builds on itself and it's still an anomaly, but you let it grow unfettered because the program is working.
So, but how does Morpheus know about a prophecy in the real world?
So what happens is because the numbers are working, the Oracle helps reinforce this idea of the one and a person like Morpheus. So don't even think that this was the fifth Neo. This is the fifth Morpheus.
Right. Got you.
Okay. So she plants some seed, and this Morpheus, his name, I'm going to say his name is Sisyphus. So first it was Sisyphus going to go find Neo. And what happens is again, the buildup of the anomaly and the numbers. And at some point, the program has to expunge this because now it's causing a system failure because they've let it grow. But by letting it grow, programming works. Like, let's take Neo's lifespan in the Matrix. How old is he? Like 30 something, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So let's just say 35 or 40 years, an anomaly reaches critical mass, and they have to do something about it program-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So in the past, they've made the Neo, the one, associate with his peoples, all of them. So I'm going to save as many as I can. Zion is under fire. Deadlock is nowhere to be found, I'm pretty sure. But, you know, Zion, think about how Zion looked when he was talking to the architect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that keep happening. All right, give me 24 people. We'll go find another little hovel and we'll start there. And that way it balances out the equation because you re-enter his, remember, he has powers outside the matrix. So you can re-enter his outcomes, the Neo, whatever version it is. You re-enter them, it balances the program, and they start from scratch. It's like, you know what it is? It's a quick reboot.
There you go.
Think about Neo as like a Control-Alt-Delete, a quick reboot, but it has to work after a certain buildup. So let's say you have a timer, and it gets to 50. All right, now, but at the same time, we're rebooting. We're starting from like when you expunge your files. Right. I only got 3 songs left. I had 800. I had to get rid of all of them. I need space. Mm-hmm. Now I got 3 songs left, so we're starting from scratch. Neo was supposed to associate that as a macro scale, but he associated with one chick, Trinity. So he was going to do everything to save Trinity. To hell with all these Zionites and all that shit.
Yes, and that's the choice he makes.
Right.
This is the most thorough understanding of some of the most forgettable movies of the 2000s you're going to hear ever.
Very, very much so.
Especially on a fucking rap podcast made by indie rappers. Let's take a break. We'll come back and talk this new one. So if you haven't seen the new one, skip ahead for a while. This is going to be heavy spoilers. We're going to have Alaska just come right off the hip, talk that shit.
Also, don't forget that Tragedy Gaddafi has an Enter the Matrix CD. I don't know if that's what it's called.
Thug Matrix.
Thug Matrix. It got the green on it. And if you look at it, yeah, he's the only one that broached it. Nobody else really did it.
I feel
maybe
like there's
Smiles and South Star.
I mean, there was me. There was me.
No, but I mean, like, put it out. Z, like, put it out as a CD. Get it sent to Coconuts and all that stuff. I doubt it.
We didn't. And we were working at Coconuts. We could have just had it on the shelf. We fucked up. All right, we'll be back.
Hold on, Coach.
The Black Panther Party 10-point program, written October 15th, 1966. We want freedom. We want power to determine the destiny of our black community. We believe that black people will not be free until we are able to determine our destiny. 2, we want full employment for our people. We believe that the federal government is responsible and obligated to give every man employment and a guaranteed income. 3, we want an end to the robbery by the capitalists of our black community. We believe that this racist government has robbed us, and now we are demanding the overdue debt of 40 acres and 2 mules. 4, we want decent housing fit for the shelter of human beings. We believe that the white landlords will not give decent housing to our black community, then the housing and the land should be made into cooperative so that our community, with government aid, can build and make decent housing for its people. 5, we want education for our people that exposes the true nature of this decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in the present-day society. 6, we want all black men to be exempt from military service. We believe that black people should not be forced to fight in the military service to defend a racist government that does not protect us. 7, we want an immediate end to police brutality and the murder of black people. We believe we can end police brutality in our black community by organizing black self-defense groups that are dedicated to defending our black community from racist police oppression and brutality. 8, we want freedom for all black men held in federal, state, county, and city prisons and jails. We believe that all black people should be released of the many jails and prisons because they have not received a fair and impartial trial. 9, we want all black people, when brought to trial, to be tried in court by a jury of their peer group or people from their black communities as defined by the Constitution of the United States. We believe that the court should follow the United States Constitution so that black people will receive fair trials. 10, we want land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, and peace. When, in the course of the human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which are connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect of the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to this separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal, that are endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Little Robert Hutton, Curly Castro, out on Backwoods Studios. Get it now.
Shabla. He had the fucking sunglasses on, code in the background.
Yep. Talk about low.
I want to make that.
You have any ideas? You don't have any ideas? Yeah, man. Just throw
that
Matrix
Matrix
back here.
I knew it. I knew it.
It really became the shorthand, like just the laziest shorthand.
Yes. For
Hands down.
future and for like tech. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the know.
It was like a shortcut to deepness.
Oh, big time.
Yes. Anyways, wait, where is? Oh, Tragedy made parts 1, 2, and 3 and 4 of Thug Matrix.
Another quadrilogy.
Another quadrilogy. Wait, ready? Here you go. I'll share my screen real quick. Here it is. There's Thug Matrix. Thug Matrix 1. I remember that one. And then there's
Thug Matrix 4.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
There's Thug Matrix 2. Thug Matrix 3.
And then there's one with he's wearing the beret. That's 3.
That's probably the best one. The third one's probably the best. There's 4, where he has a hat saying "I am the greatest." Thug Matrix 4. Oh my god! I bet Gang can weigh in on the power of the Thug Matrix quadrilogy.
All right, I would put a wager up there. Out of all 4 of those, he sold under 1,000.
Oh, without a question, he sold under 400.
I mean, he is popular, so maybe I could be wrong. Like, maybe.
Wait, are you saying of the most recent ones?
No, of all of them.
Oh no, he sold more than 1,000.
Really?
Yeah, he's Tragedy Gaddafi.
What was the timeline on?
Excuse me. What years are we talking here? On Amazon. Let's.
Well, the first one had to be in 99, 2000. He couldn't have strayed too far from.
No, he was selling. I mean, he was selling out of his trunk.
Right. All right, 2001. Oh no. Wait, well, this says 2007.
You might have a multiple release date. I would go to
we'll
look at the Wikipedia because some of these have re-releases. And they'll throw up the date for you.
Yeah, it doesn't give me any definitive answers on it was released in 2005 after the entire trilogy of the movies had their run. Dude, he had Havoc, Scram Jones, The Alchemist, The Ayatollah, Cormega, Raekwon, Nature. I'm about to play this shit. Havoc on a couple songs. Okay. That's good stuff. All right, let's come back and wrap it up with the new movie. Thug Matrix 2 is in 2006. He was really back. Dude, Nas is on this.
Yeah, no, he sold copies.
Oh well, no, it's basically they're just mixtapes. They're just him pulling all of his.
But my thing is
cameos, like TONY is on here.
Tragedy can call in the audible. You get what I'm saying? Like he can call in a favor or two. That's all we're saying.
Sure. I agree. There we go. 3, 2.
I mean, I bought a T-shirt off of him outside of Grand Central Station one time.
That's right.
Castro, there's a dude on a Tragedy album named Christ Castro. So there you go.
Wow.
That's for the people out there listening. Cool Out Culture, we're back.
I'm going to have to take him out.
Christ Castro is on site. So all of it. So spoiler alert heavily. If you haven't watched the new Matrix movie, just either shut this pod down now or fucking don't, whatever. Listen to what Alaska has to say about the new one. So Alaska, what were some of your thoughts about the newest Matrix movie?
It's in contention for the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
With what? What are some other?
The Jay and Silent Bob reboot. It's one of those two is the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Why is that the case?
Dude, it was so boring. It had no point. It was a meandering mess. It was just like Keanu Reeves looking like he had knee braces on, like limping through the scenes. Like,
yes,
he was like, it was like Dee from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when she was like the aluminum monster.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's what he looked like running through the Matrix. And it was just like the whole shit was just corny and awful. The new Agent Smith, my note was that he reminds me of Dennis Reynolds. I've been watching a lot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's on your mind.
But yeah, the new Agent Smith definitely has that like swarmy vibe about him. Jada Pinkett Smith is just awful as always. There's nothing likable about her as a person. The first hour was the most boring bullshit I've ever seen in my life. It was like a mix of like trying to be trippy with like a weird Hallmark movie, meeting in the coffee shop, like, it's,
yes,
you can't tell what it is.
Tiffany.
It was just fucking stupid. It was really the dumbest shit. It was so heavy-handed. It was so poorly written. The dialogue was garbage. Dude, the new Trinity, whoever she is, like the one that was trying to like replicate what Trinity was doing in the first scene.
Oh, Colleen Wing from
Colleen
fucking Defenders. She was
Iron
dope.
Fist.
I mean, she's a great actor. I like her. She's a great actress.
The dude that was like running with her, the guy that was like,
I don't even remember this motherfucker.
The computer guy.
No. That she was Colleen Wing. So wait. Colleen Wing was
Bugs.
She was in it helping Neil, but that first scene you seen with them doing Bugs in it, that was a simulation that Neil was running to try to train his aid.
But
to
Bugs
train
made her way
game
into it though,
and train Morpheus through his own things. No, she found it, but I'm saying that first. No, I
understand that.
Kicked the chair and was no.
Bugs I understand that. I'm talking about. I'm just talking about Bugs being in it. Yeah, but the dude that was like coaching her and guiding her, he might have been the worst character ever in any movie. The shit that he did, like the high five with the little robot, was corny. And then like the internet talk. Where he was
I will say this.
He was like, "How bad?" He's like, "It's all the bad." It's just like this shit is the worst.
All right, we can all admit, and I was going to finish. We can all admit that they've been try to find Tank ever since the first movie. They haven't been able to find a good operator, and I like Howard Perrineau, but ever since the first one, they haven't had like he's an attractive man.
Yes,
he was catching everybody's attention.
Oh yeah,
no plugs in my arms, but he wanted too much paper, and probably didn't really want too much paper because they were making enough to pay him. But I just think it's funny, Alaska, that you bring up Sec because he's the latest engineer, and they still can't get it right.
No, he's
still can't get it right.
He's awful.
He's
like an eHarmony commercial guy. That's like the level of acting he's bringing to the table.
eHarmony.
Like I don't want to play games. I'm not here for games. I'm here for love.
Oh my god,
dude. This shit.
All right, let me get my spiel because
so wait. I got a couple more things real quick.
Get it. I want to go second.
Yes. I thought the one part with Neil Patrick Harris where he was like, they were wrong. It's like people wanting facts and fiction. Like I thought that was kind of an interesting point.
That's good.
Because that's kind of pressing it now. But then like the whole like the bots thing, like turning into a zombie horde, where it's just like a horde of bots coming and then throwing themselves off a roof.
That was
like World War Z shit to me.
Yeah, but that was saving them. That was saving money. They didn't have to make. They didn't have to make Agent Smith plug his hand into you, and all they had to do was that little green thing on people's eyes. Because if I'm not mistaken, those weren't even humans either. Those are like literal bots that attack your spam and your email and stuff like that. Right?
That's cool.
And then the commentary on how like it's so much more complicated now. Or Jada Pinkett Smith is like so much more complicated. People used to want to be free. I was like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You're just worried about making a strawberry.
Genetic strawberry.
And just by the end, I wanted the Matrix to win. I was rooting for the Matrix.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted the machines to win. And then especially when they ended it with that horrible Rage Against the Machine cover.
Oh, that was.
I mean, fuck Rage Against the Machine, but like that cover itself was just.
Was that like some random chick from TikTok? Like they couldn't.
No, it's like
some band.
Some band.
It was and they horrible. Just covered it. Yeah, it Calm like a Bomb never sounded cheesier. It was.
At first, I was like, I thought that Zach re-recorded it with just his own band. That's what it sounded like to me at first. And then I was like, no, I know this song. And it was like, oh man, it's just a cover. I stopped. Did you watch it to the end to watch that last pitch? About cats?
Oh, no, I didn't even know. I couldn't do it.
So at the end, there was a post-credit scene about, the internet's dead. You know what we need? Cat videos. It was that whole little team that Neil was working with in the beginning of the movies. Yeah, it's rough. Okay, let me get my spiel, Z, because I know you're. So here it goes. Sorry, I want to get my video back. So here it goes. So I'm such a Matrix fan that the Matrix Resurrections to me was like Saved by the Bell working at the summer camp. It was like a good nostalgic. I appreciated seeing everybody back. They weren't doing anything groundbreaking. I knew I wouldn't see, something I never saw before, but I did enjoy seeing the gangs all here. Now, do those always really work? No, because it's Scooby-Doo remakes that suck. And, every Scooby-Doo character is there. But that's what I felt. I felt warm inside and I smiled because I'm such a fan of the first one. Semi-fan of the second and third one. and just to see them just go into it and head first and come out with a movie. It was nostalgic. It was nostalgic for me. I rubbed my belly. I smiled. Now, where is it as far as movies and stuff? I don't know, because I think it's more of a personal obsession. I don't think you're gonna sit there with your friends and have watch parties with it. But I think if you like The Matrix, if it's on USA, you'll let it play. Something like that. Because one, the action scenes are very minimalized. And you know why? Because John Wick is a superior movie. He's shooting that one as well. So if Keanu were going to pull anything, stretch anything, hurt anything, we'll do that for John Wick 5.
Oh, he definitely pulled something. He definitely pulled something while not exerting himself.
So I just thought it was like a warm cup of cocoa. We all know what this is. We all, you know what I'm saying? I didn't like that they mirrored so much of the first one. I didn't like the Morpheus thing. This is my thing. The Morpheus and the Smith characters, they had good actors behind them, but you kind of just created new characters. So, all right, so the Morpheus thing, you could have literally called him Morpheus 2. Or Morpheus.
He's such a waste of a character because he's such a good actor.
You could have just left him in as another character that you were building in this modal, that you subconsciously are building after Morpheus, but his has a different name. Like I said, Sisyphus or something, like some name that's close to it. But he still knows how to break you out and help you get back into get your mojo back. The new Smith, I like Homeboy. He didn't have to be Smith. They didn't have to fight in the train station and do the speed punch and all that stuff. Yeah. Like they could have just left him as his own character. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think that was lazy, very lazy, because those both could have been decent characters. And they didn't have to do any more than they did. That's what I'm saying. They didn't have to do any more, any less than what we saw on the screen. But I think there would have been more merit to it if they were their own characters and allowed to exist as such. Bugs works. We ain't met her from a month of Sunday.
She was great.
I didn't know anything about this shit, but they made it work where I was fucking with the chick at the end of the movie. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
I think there were lessons I saw that Lana worked on. Like they're better filmmakers. Let me speak on Lana because you know her sister's not there, but they're better filmmakers now because it was better executed than the third one.
So I'll agree with that. It was better. It was better.
It was way better executed. The way they resurrected them, yes, all of that. Oh no, okay. Well, in my opinion, I thought the fourth one was way better executed than the third one, and again, it was Full House. We're going to Cancun. You know what I'm saying? Like a holiday reunion movie. You know, Martin and Gina meet Pam and Tommy at the Eiffel Tower. Those episodes. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of get lost in where they're not used to, and then they come back together at the end of the episode, and maybe Shanae pops up and she's already there. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what it felt like to me. That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I had very, very, very low expectations. Even before rewatching 2 and 3. When you watch the new one, you see them remaking the exact same shots from the first 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also see like, wow, so many people took your ideas from 20 plus years ago and then expanded those ideas. Like there was the one scene where like they're in a hallway and Bugs is like going up on the walls and ceiling and shoot. And I'm like, Inception did an entire set piece on this better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's one of those things where like, it's the same way where we notice in music, right? When DOS Effects came out with the Iggy style, for a year and a half, 2 years, every R&B motherfuckers, rappers, everyone was using that style, right?
Right.
And
but that style had an expiration point.
Right.
Because even they couldn't use it.
Yes.
But that much. Right.
But because their entire career was tethered to that one style, it was cool the first time you heard it. 17 songs, albums, other acts later using it, you're like, I don't care that DOS Effects came out with it first. Because now Belle Biv DeVoe uses it. Everyone uses it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why someone like Busta exists and DOS Effects was crushed by 97 is that Busta's like, I got 400 styles.
Mm-hmm.
I can do everything.
Right.
The Wachowskis, and in this one, it's just Lana, I believe, is the only one.
I think it's Lana. We could correct it.
I'm looking at it now. Lana. So the other sister, whose name escapes me, did not do this one. they've never stayed ahead of anything after the first movie. So when you watch the new one, you're like, oh, this reminds me of the first thing. And then I've also seen 50 other properties take what you guys and girls did and just blow it out of the frame.
And
like,
wait,
you're not making people chase this shit.
But
you know
also,
what I mean?
there's the unveiling, and I wanted to bring this part up: the trans allegory, right?
Right.
It took people years to put that together. Alaska, you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So we can get into it. We don't have to. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so the fact that the Matrix is an allegory for being trans, trying to kill people that dead name you constantly, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, in the second and third one, it's overwhelming.
Right,
as much as Mr. Smith says. I mean, Agent Smith says that.
So we can assume that the Wachowskis were going through that. Either they were telling people to call them this, that, and the third, or internally they were feeling like they weren't the people that they were born as.
Right.
And because that happens, like I said, you pull back the veil. So that little caveat is not there for the fourth one or even the third one. It's just not there because all of the time it took us to kind of piece it together has to happen after the trilogy. Right. Because we're not that smart. And they were hiding it behind. You see what I'm saying? And so now that they've come to fulfillment, like the one thing that strikes me in the new one is, like I said, because it's not a trans allegory, I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me in the comments or whatever. But like, all right, now we're really controlled by our machines. Because remember that scene where they're all in the elevator?
Right.
Early on. And they're all in the elevator and everybody's looking at their damn phone except Neil. That's a 2020 thing as opposed to a 99 thing. You know what I'm saying? You pull out the phone to use it. Now everybody's stuck in their phone. And now we're really being controlled by machines inside the simulation of being controlled by machines. And so that rabbit has already jumped the coop. So where is there left for story? What is left for story? And that's where really I feel it breaks all the way down. What is left for story?
So that goes back to the Wachowskis being one-trick ponies. They are DOS effects. They had an incredible style once in the 90s and then have never transcended that thing. Whereas other people have come along and been like, oh, I know what to do with that. Like Eminem, Tretch. I'm picking people that like came with that vocal thing. Migos. There's people that have done these things like DOS FX did, and then just kept it going, and kept finding new places to go with it, whether you like them or not. The Wachowskis, I just think like they hit on something that blew the fuck up way beyond anyone anticipated with the first Matrix movie. Whereas, like, I feel like they more or less are separately and collectively people that are doing like Sylvester Stallone fucking red box action movies, like Assassins. Like they're not great at dialogue. They're not great at film action. They're not great at suspense. They're not great at sci-fi. They're not great at mystery. Like, what is their thing? And I feel like because the first one was so big and then the second one was pretty big and the third one like box office cratered.
Right.
I just feel like, but like you're saying, everyone wants to spend time with, Keanu again and Trinity. But like the actual film itself, like Alaska was saying, like, what the fuck is the point of doing all these things? And it's not even their fault because even like Coming to America too, like what's the point?
I liked it.
This,
I enjoyed it, but it also was like a one trick pony. Coming to America too, and the fun, and you know why? Because they didn't even repeat shots. If y'all noticed that, they didn't even
they all
replicate
do these things.
But no, the Coming to America too. I don't think they replicated much.
Oh, they didn't. Okay, I'm sorry.
A little
I'm just
bit
saying,
they
like.
did.
But really, you know what I'm saying? Like they really go big swaths. Like raw, they would have done raw penises clean again. They would have had them fighting
They
with
kind
staffs
of did
again.
something similar to that though.
Yeah, when he got there, when the son got there.
Got there, yeah.
To me, I felt like the nostalgia was actually seeing Eddie and the wife, not them recreating shots.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me throw this at you really, really briefly then.
Yeah.
I was texting with Dan O about this, right? And we were saying how like it's such a very tricky proposition when you're doing sequels and trilogies and quadrilogies, right? Because what do people actually want when they're seeing part 2, 3, 4? They just want the feeling of the first one when it was like a new discovery, right? A new.
You don't think people want the advancement of the story?
No.
I think you're wrong. See, I think people want advancement of the story.
Here's what I'm getting at. Okay. If you make a part 2 or 3, that's a complete departure. That is going somewhere new, unforeseen. It seems as though that people don't like that because it doesn't give them the same things they liked about the first one.
But when it works, it works, Z.
But then and then they retreat back. But Aliens 2 is totally different from Aliens 1.
That's my point. Terminator 1, Terminator 2, like you're saying, when you leap from the launch pad,
right.
which you
those are like
now
two ever. Right. You're right. Those are like two that are actually Godfather 2. It's like better than the first one, right? But overall, I feel like people, when you actually go somewhere really new with it, audiences tend to be like, no, I just want the first one again. But then when you keep remaking the first one, it's like, well, that's a fucking waste of time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This is what me and Dan were just like positing. Okay. What are you gonna say, Les?
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think I think that there's a few ways to do it, right? If you actually have a story that can be contained in 3 or 4 parts, it usually works.
Right.
Examples like what?
I mean,
Dune.
You know, say what
the new Dune. We knew
Star Wars.
Star Wars. We know there was. We know that
I don't
there
like
wasn't
it,
enough.
The Marvel Universe. That's all one giant story.
Right. We know that there's not enough time on the screen to hit these stories on the head. We know that. Go before we sit down. The new Dune. We know that wasn't one movie. We want to, I bet I'll ask elaborate. I want you to finish your point. Sorry.
So, no, I'm just saying, I think like the problem with movies like this is there is no story. It's a blatant cash grab.
Correct.
Whether they think there's artistic merit to it, there's not. Like they could tell themselves that there is all day. There is. I agree. It's a blatant cash grab.
The fact that
there was no story beyond the original Matrix.
No, and the fact that Fishburne chose not to revive his most iconic character, right?
Well, he said they didn't approach him, and that's
hilarious. That's bullshit. That's
but here's the thing: Lawrence wouldn't say that if he didn't mean. He said it. Now,
Larry, I don't give a fuck what your name is. Your name Larry.
Hugo Weaving said it was a scheduling conflict. Like there was no way for him to fit what he was working on.
What is Hugo Weaving doing?
Exactly, bro. This is his most iconic thing. That would be like Downey being like, I'm too busy for another Iron Man. I'm just busy. No, bro, you're fucking Iron Man, dude. Get the fuck out. I'm just saying, you're right. It's very telling that Hugo Weaving and Fishburne and one half of the Wachowskis are like, oh, I'm too busy now to do the Matrix 4.
Well, the other Wachowski, she said that it would have been too emotional. She wasn't ready to step back into that. And that's when we get into the trans.
So let me add to this then. Okay, no, but let me add this then briefly. Mm-hmm. They lost their parents, right? I was reading about that.
Yes.
So the one Wachowski sister said, I can't do it because it's tied into my family experience, whatever. The other sister retreated into the nostalgia for comfort. Being, this will make me feel good to be amongst Keanu, Carrie-Anne Moss, which is very honest.
Yeah. What do you think of this as well? In the past 5 years or so, the ideas behind the Matrix have been co-opted by like sort of right-wing MAGA culture.
Right.
Right.
But the red pill. So, but all right. So go ahead.
Well, hold on, let me finish.
For that. Yeah.
So this movie feels like it very blatantly does address that a lot. And they're trying to like sort of build upon like how that's not what this is about. Like they're trying to like correct the record.
Okay.
Like to me, that seems like there's definitely an element of that in the reason for redoing this movie. So they could kind of try to take back their creation from people who have co-opted it that they don't like.
I could see that point.
And rightfully so. I mean, they're quite a loathsome group of assholes.
But the red pill, blue pill, I got introduced to it outside of the Matrix with some Nubian and freedom organizations. I knew 2 cats, twins. One was red pill and one was blue pill. And that's what they called themselves. And they were offering it up like, split the brain type shit. Mm-hmm. One brother teaches more of this, the other brother teaches more of that. This was years ago. So when I saw the co-optization is happening today, it didn't hit me as much because I've seen it co-opted before in a whole nother sphere, selling books and shit like that. So today, but I think Alaska, they want to line up everything with the whole "you're sheeple," don't take what's given to you type thing. I mean, the Punisher is changing its logo because the right-wing cats have gotten hold of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know if it's tangible, them feeling like, oh, we got to get the hell away.
Chris changed his name.
Yeah, he did. Chris Orrick.
Chris Orrick.
Oh, he did. Shouts to
Yeah.
former known Red
Former
Pill.
name's Red Pill, yep. He
Oof.
changed his name. And that was early on in the game when that Red
Alaska.
Pill
Remember you were going to
section
change your
started.
name because of Baked Alaska?
I never even thought of changing my name.
You did. You posted a thing saying,
I
"Yo,
was
should I
joking
change my
around.
name?"
I was
Oh, I thought
joking.
you were for real.
was
Everyone
never
was like, "Yo,
serious,
fuck
no.
that asshole. We know you way longer than Baked Alaska. Fuck him."
No, I was joking.
Oh, I thought you were
Oh,
for
Baked
real.
Alaska is like a guy in the scene. He's a guy.
He's some
Is it?
white,
Yeah,
like early on white supremacist
Oh,
who's
okay.
been shut off.
I
of
thought
everything.
we were talking about the actual dish.
No. Yeah, no, I was joking when I said that. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, anything
Not
can
one
be
of those jackasses that
misappropriated.
goes on Twitter and asks people what I should do.
I just remember you posting, and everyone was like, "Fuck that guy. You're Alaska. Fuck him." And I was like, "Yeah."
No, it was a joke.
I don't know, bro.
Oh, I missed that.
Dude, it was a
so much.
joke. I'm dead serious. It was a
Look,
joke.
he's stuck. He's stuck. You can't move on from
You're
it.
fucking wildin'. Yeah. All right. So, and last but not least, I noticed too watching the second and third ones compared to the new one. The second and third ones were they made them during like the whole like underground like British trance techno drum and bass era. And the new one has like no music that means anything. Like there's just no sounds specific to any vibe, which is odd.
I'm definitely down for that Red Rabbit or that White Rabbit song anytime it comes on. Though that shit.
Yeah, White
bangs.
Rabbit song's crazy. They don't even put that shit in the new one.
And then the movie,
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
it's
The
in
new
There's
there.
a whole huge part in it. Yeah.
I don't
It's
even
in
remember. I don't even remember,
Yeah,
bro.
when he's like programming and going crazy, like at the beginning.
Oh yes, yeah, you're right.
When he's cycling. When
Yes,
Neo's
he's
cycling.
Yeah.
He's cycling.
Yeah,
But
that's fun.
you're right, because think about it. Like I said, David Guetta, the guy that created Bullet Time, if you see him now, he's all glassed it up like he made a jump when he used to be a damn geek. Seriously, like wearing those coats on set. Go look at
Oh
old
my god.
Matrix ones behind the scenes. This guy's a geek, right? But he gets more established, right? They don't
He's
use
not
the
the
same.
DJ, is he?
Yeah.
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 They don't establish any musical moves past what they did in the first one because they don't have a composer like these two. You know, I just noticed that. Like
If Junkie XL wasn't the first one back in the day.
first three, they had a composer. And all that shit.
Yeah. Oh,
That was-
yeah.
that
The music was huge. We
Yeah,
sampled
that-
it on my second Matrix song I
Right.
ever made.
That's not in the fourth one. The fourth one has
No.
like typical movie sound cues, whatever they may
It's
be.
just
But
whatever.
all that do, 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 do. Boom, 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 boom. And I know why, because I used to, one thing I really enjoyed about the first Matrix, I would play the end and let the credits roll because there was two songs in there I really liked. And I would just let the credits roll. I hated doing that sometimes because they would always switch the song that you like to some other shit to finish out the credits. And I would definitely listen to the Matrix post-credit. There was no scenes before scenes, but just the post-credit musical score.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
shouts to Grant Hill, who was a producer on Matrix Resurrection.
Or yep.
Shouts,
And
and
that money.
so far the movie has lost $90 million. At the
You
box
reading
office.
it wrong. That's not how you read something. Oh, I
It
lost
costs-
$20 today. No,
It cost
I spent
$190
$800.
million. The box office is $106 million. It lost $84 million
That's
so
domestic.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean,
Watch this. Open it up. Go ahead. I
I'm just
already
looking
know.
at Wikipedia. I'm not
Exactly.
really
Go
that
to
that
international
investigating. I'm not that
yeah.
invested.
Why you won't go that extra step? Just to make your little point about 90 million being lost? Where's the go to the foreign and domestic
Matrix.
box office?
Resurrection.
That's all about, dog.
Global
Give me half
box
the story.
office. Yo, man. Do you work for these Wachowskis, bro? You're not invested in how much money they're making?
It was a
Oh
chance.
my
I had one
God.
chance. I was like, I could do the dreadlock scene better than them. I did
Well,
think that.
okay. It made 70 million at the US box office. So
Right? Yeah.
That's old numbers. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Matrix Revolutions.
it's
What is the new one called again? Matrix
Resurrections.
Resurrections.
Matrix.
Don't y'all get it?
redone again.
Resurrections, Reloaded, Revolutions. All these R's?
So
Y'all just not picking up on that?
It's made 106 million worldwide.
Thank you.
Yes, down. Yeah, $84 million hit. But again, it's on streaming the same day, so I don't know what the hell that means.
I
You know
don't
what I
think
mean?
we should look that down bad on it because I think what it does is extends life on those products because when you drop it the same day in a pandemic, some people are actually really grateful for it. Like some people still haven't seen Eternals because it's only in the theaters
Correct.
and nobody even wants to see Eternals.
True.
So put it on streaming. You ain't hurt nobody.
I'll spend $50 to watch Spider-Man in my house.
I would too. I spent $35 to watch Black Widow.
Oh yeah, and I watched it off your shit. That was
Mhm.
dope. No, wait. I saw it in the theater.
You saw it in the theater and I bought it that day.
You bought it that day.
I bought it that day.
Fucking blew it.
I was in the house.
Oh my God. Well, we did it. Matrix quadrilogy. Any closing thoughts on it?
Y'all
any of the
lucky we
Matrix
didn't. Y'all lucky we didn't make this a Patreon semi-exclusive where we rewatched the movie, which we will do again.
I think we're lucky that we didn't do that.
We will do that again. Our least watched episode ever.
At least
We
listen
will
to, yeah.
least listen to episode ever.
Yeah, we
And
do
we will
Vice
revisit
Principals.
it.
Maybe for the second 200 episode, we'll do a live watch of Vice Principals.
What's Vice Principals?
The one with Jim Belushi and Lou Gossett. Isn't that
I
Vice
think you're
That's
talking
the
about
principal.
the one with Danny McBride and Walter
Yeah.
Goggins.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
best show.
that's
No, wait,
what-
that's
where
the show.
That's where they're battling principals, right? They're
Yes.
That's a
Wait,
show,
what's the one? What's the one with Jim Belushi and Lou
The
Gossett?
Principal.
The principal.
The Principal.
The Principal.
Lou Gossett.
That's the one with I wish raindrops would fall. He was the leader.
Dude, the next one we're doing is Snakes Out of Compton.
Snakes. I thought it was Snakes.
Which one is Snakes Out of Compton?
With
It's just I came across it on a streaming service. I never watched it, but it's
Wait,
it's
the snakes
basically
migrate from Compton? Like, I'm listening. What happened?
it's yeah. The thing is like this guy and his friends, they get a record deal, and the day they get the record deal, massive snakes invade Los Angeles, and they have to like basically fight off the snakes. It's like Sharknado level budget.
Oh,
Okay.
I know
I
Doof
love
wants to
those.
get on
Yeah,
it. So.
Doof wants to watch it with us.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
think
we
the,
got
I don't
it.
think the people, I don't think the listeners are down for these type of concepts. But if you guys want to hear or listen to this shit, or maybe we'll do it at
Don't do that,
Patreon
Z.
or
God
a
knows, 'cause
Zoom
we know
link.
the answer. We have to figure out something else. Maybe we could do it as a. No, we know nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to listen to us. So maybe we'll make it like you sign in and we'll watch it together.
Yeah, we'll all watch it together, something like that, and then we just record that.
And then we record that and just bug out.
Wait, hold on. I just want to share my screen really quick with fucking Jim Belushi from The Principal walking down the hallway, bloodied up with an ice bag on his face. Do you guys see this shit? Do you guys see this? Oh my god! Yeah, we may have to watch this one before we do anything with Snakes.
That's where I got the tears from. This is the one. Lou Gossett with his fingerless gloves.
Oh my god! Look at this! Look at the fucking the hair, bro. The mullet. He's losing so much hair when he's like putting mad Pantene Pro V. Shouts to Jim Belushi. Oh my god! Look at his hair, dude. A lot of volume.
Is that dude from the 5 Heartbeats?
Yeah,
Might
that's
be,
I wish
yeah.
raindrops would fall. The main one.
Yeah.
This fucking guy, dude. Oh
And
my God.
also not to mention it. Somehow, some way, Jim Belushi is way into motorcycles, and the little kid is with a motorcycle fixing game. I always thought that was way too convincing. No, the little boy they got with him that he had a crush on Radon for. He knew how to fix homeboy's bike. Like his crew was bike fixers. I remember they were around the corner. What if
Look at
they
that
broke his
jacket.
car?
Oh, that's tough. Here she is, Radon Chong. She had a nice run. Radon Chong had a
No,
run.
she
There it
didn't.
is. She had a good run.
No, she didn't.
She had a good run. Yeah, we
Really?
had to do this one next.
Of course, you would think so. She did Soul Man, and somehow
Oh,
you
she
forgot.
did.
Yeah, she did. What you talking about?
Wow. She did Soul
She
Man.
did Soul Man.
Wow.
Alaska, you couldn't stop me from saying, "Oh man, I love this movie." It's so. I liked Soul Man for like 4 years before somebody slapped the shit out of me.
Soul Man.
Dude, the best at the end. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, with
where
the
he's
joke,
like-
the joke at the end when he beats the guys up. That ain't funny.
Oh no! At the end where he's sitting with James Earl Jones in the office,
Mhm.
and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
I learned
Being a white
like
person.
what it's like. He's like, but I can always go back to being a white person.
They just drop some knowledge on you right there.
And then then he finally sees the guys with the long form joke. First of all, if y'all listen to it, the jokes are stupid. How many black people would take the twist on a light bulb? And he said
That's
like
a Polish
3
joke.
or something like that. Yeah, but
Oh my
I
God.
think he missed. They missed it. They just stopped the joke. I don't think they even went as
At
far as the
3.
punchline because it was like, "Hey, we're just joking, man." Like they were doing it like that or something like that. And I was like, okay.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Well,
Well,
it said 3. I think 3. 2 people hold the light bulb and one person.
One to
twists
hold
them.
the
I don't
light
know.
bulb and 2 to spin the stool.
twist- Right. Oh, there it goes. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
oh my
Wow.
god.
They're all, I got Polish blood, so it's all the Polish
So,
jokes.
those are all repurposed Polish jokes. That's what that was.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like-
repurposed Polish.
Did you hear
jokes.
about the
Because
new
I ain't
submarine?
gonna lie, this is in the 80s. I didn't know those jokes. And I just remember them.
Oh man, we
The
were
whole gist
swimming
of
in
it-
the Polish jokes.
the
Yeah.
gist of it was, oh man, sorry, man. We just joking. Like I didn't even register the jokes. I just remember them saying inappropriate things around C. Thomas Howell and the black boy and the little black kid.
Oh my god.
And then at the end is when I think my mind finally heard the joke. I was like, all right. Well, where are the other black people in the cafeteria that's gonna beat these guys up? Like, did they not work that day, or
God,
they have classes? And again, what I love about that movie, really, I truly love, is our disbelief in the age of high schoolers throughout that whole swap. Like, we allowed so many people to play high schoolers, and they were in their 30s, and not even Fast Times at Richmond High. I get older and the girls stay the same.
Days Confused, yeah.
Waterson.
Shouts to Waterson.
I never watched that movie, y'all. I never saw that movie.
Oh,
wait, which one?
Days of Confused.
Days of Confused. I never saw either one.
You never saw Fast Times at Richmond High?
Wow.
Nah, I would set myself to watch it, and I don't know what happened. I was
Judd fucking, what's his name?
Isn't that it's Fast Times? Did they have the two boys with the one wore a trench coat and a yellow hat, and they were?
No, that was Summer School.
Summer School,
I saw
classic.
I like Summer School. I saw Summer
School. The one
with
the
rejected
and
Chainsaw
with the rejected teacher, and they stuck him with all the kids.
Mark Harmon.
Yeah, because he was going on vacation. He's like, no, you're not. Like, what kind of job is that?
I rented that movie so many fucking times.
Yeah,
love Summer School.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Classic movie.
Yeah, no, I was watching.
Alley was up in it.
I had different tastes. I was watching Women's at Brewster's Place, and what else I was watching around that time? And let me see, probably some Cosby vehicle, because remember he did have Ghost Dad and Leonard Part 6, and
I saw Ghost Dad.
He had like two other films. He had films floating around. That was Cosby's time. He was like always somebody's parent.
In fucking Summer School, Mark Harmon's character is Freddie Shoop. It's the most 80s name in the world. Freddie Shoop.
The best shit is looking at the picture of Chainsaw now.
Oh, he's fucking bloated. Yeah, Chainsaw.
No, he's not, dude. Hold on.
This dude, Dean Cameron as Chainsaw Grimp. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, actually, one of my favorites from back then was y'all won't remember this movie, Heart Condition.
Wait, who's in Heart Condition?
Is that the one with Denzel Washington?
Yes, Denzel and Homeboy.
How many Heart
The dude from Just Shoot Me.
Yes.
Oh, that dude.
And,
he's in Station 11.
Yeah, so check it. So he gets a heart transplant from Denzel, and Denzel's spirit appears next to him and starts advising him, and he won't leave him alone the whole movie.
Oh, that's shit! I'm looking at the picture. But Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Was it Bob Hoskins?
My god! Yeah, from Bob Hoskins from
Mario Brothers.
Roger Rabbit.
Yes,
I rather remember.
He was in for all my British crime heads. He's in the Long Good Friday, one of the best British crime movies ever. Peep that shit.
What was George Siegel?
No, Bob Hoskins, though. He's in Heart Condition.
Let me see, Heart Condition.
This is like
George
one of the
Siegel
most.
And Denzel Washington do a movie together too, like one of his early ones.
One of his early, yeah, you're right. He was his long lost son.
And that's what it was. Carbon Copy, yes.
Carbon Copy. Wow.
Yep. And he was just acting like, "Hey, Dad," and I was just like, "What the fuck am I watching?" 1990. Heart Condition. Racist police. Don't forget. Racist police officer Jack Mooney has a vendetta against Napoleon Stone. Denzel Washington's name was Napoleon Stone.
How's that a black dude's name?
A charismatic black lawyer who was sleeping with Jack's old flame, Crystal Garrity. Jack has a heart attack, but his life is saved when he receives Stone's heart. Since Stone died mysteriously the same night as Jack was stricken, Stone is not completely gone. However, and as a ghost, he is also happy to give Jack advice on how he should do his job and live his life.
Classic. We might have to watch Heart Condition, dude.
I want to go back in time, Alaska, and get that bag for these people making these movies. I want to go back there.
I want to see I want to see like what passed as an acceptable racist joke in 1990 when Heart Condition was made.
I would love to be in the meetings, like the pitch meetings for these movies.
Okay, check it out. Racist cop. Okay,
yeah,
he gets a heart transplant from a black lawyer because he hates black people. This is going to be crazy. And they're like,
and he's a cop, so he probably hates lawyers too. Because
how many blacks has he just killed off the rip?
Oh, you know what else I was watching around there? Like The Last Starfighter too. I think that came out around then too.
Yeah,
Jeff Bridges, right? Isn't he in The Last Starfighter?
And Lou Gossett, and they were stranded on a planet together, and he helped Lou Gossett give birth to the baby, and before he got the planet.
All right.
So that was that was my man. The Navigator was around then too. I love the order.
Fly the Navigator.
Fly the Navigator.
This is the VHS corner here on Call.
No, it's why I was just to go back to the Matrix real quick. Like what Castro was talking about it being like a loop.
Right.
Almost.
Yes. Yep.
It's interesting that the new Battlestar Galactica, like the one that came out in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
That's essentially the same story. It's a loop that keeps on happening.
It's a loop. I heard about it.
It came out a year after that last Matrix movie.
Weird.
Loops are always your friend. Because
it
allows the audience, excuse me, I said the audience. It allows the audience to tie up the loose ends for you. You ain't got to do it.
Yeah.
True. Doubling back. Like I don't know if y'all remember when y'all saw a Final Destination, was it 3? And realized it was before 1?
Mm-hmm.
Like did y'all notice that? Yeah, like one of those. It's not 3. It was one of those later ones where you realize it was.
I think it was the Final Destination.
Yeah, and then also they did that on Saw 2 or 3, where he was showing you earlier footage, and his son was really in the damn safe, and if he sat there, I like stuff like that too. Whatchamacallit was a nice loop, but I thought it was kind of ill with Mental.
Yeah,
he was
that's
making up his own. Yeah, making his own memories.
With Joe Pantoliano's in that. Yep. From
he said you've been killed him. You killed him 5-6 people ago.
John
Christ,
Doe.
where's my glasses? He just went. He said,
John Doe raped and killed your wife, Leonard. Memory man.
I'm gonna make you my target. I thought that was so slick. Stuff like that.
Teddy.
Slick.
Fucking genius. Well, that about wraps it all up here. We're back 2022. Highly recommend people check the Real Notes pod with Cinema Masai to hear Castro's interview over there. Great show. They've had me and Prem on. Hoping they don't have Alaska because we can't get everybody. We should just cut it off.
Wait, Alaska, aren't you in the queue? You in the queue, right?
I don't know. I've never spoken with him.
You never. You know what I'm saying? He'll do an interview with you and put you in the queue for like a month or 2. I didn't know if he did one with you.
Several months.
Oh, no. I never did one.
Okay. He's very approachable if you ever wanted to. He loves talking.
Yep.
Movies and shit.
And then look at all the year-end lists that all of us have made from our tweets the last few weeks. Little Robert Hutton, Low Bearing Crow's Feet, Human Zoo, Vegas Vic, Never at Peace. We are really grateful to have people consider us that highly, which is great. So
I have a great review of Little Robert Hutton on the Next Movement podcast. Ooh. But I have another great conversation with Blueprint on his year-end review episode.
Yeah, I just started listening to that the other day.
Yeah, it came out really good.
First half is tough word.
First half is calling cat named Tony, and then I'm after that. And it came up really well.
I'm at the Tony section right now.
Yeah, the Castro part is
it's Tino, right? Is it Tino or Tony?
It's Tino, not Tony. It's Tino. Yeah. Sorry,
Tino.
Oh snap! Speaking of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Glenn Howerton. Oh, this is him recalling being charged with felonies for trying to get a fake ID. I thought he got charged with felonies.
Gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful.
The headline was misleading.
Very misleading. We are gearing up for Career Crooks. I think we have 2 mini discs left in existence. So if you fuck with us on the mini disc, we got tapes are sold out forever. Still got probably 20 CDs left. So if you fuck with Never at Peace, me and Small Pro, hop on that. And then I know Little Robert Hutton CDs are coming end of this month, early February.
Should be end of this month.
End of this month.
Big line of. Yeah, everybody knows what's going on. So, you know, apologies, but it's worth the wait. We also got a Prem Rock CD and tape announcement. I don't know when this episode will go up, but he has an announcement on Friday the 7th. No, excuse me. Friday the 7th, yes.
Okay,
so, if you've heard it already, then salutes to y'all. If not, bear witness.
Bang. And then for our Patreon folks, this year we're going to be fucking around with just like different formats of shows and little things we're going to do outside of the main episode every week with us. But on Patreon, you've already got a taste of some of the like little one-off mini episodes we're doing. They're going to be on Patreon only for a while as we start doing more of those here and there. So there you go. So new episodes for the main show to the public every Monday. Patreon gets it usually Thursday, Friday at the latest. So fuck with us on Patreon. It's the shit. We still do live stuff and all that good shit on the Patreon, patreon.com/Co-Out Culture Podcast, and fuck with us on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and all that fun stuff. Alaska, anything else you want to hit the people with before we wrap it up?
No,
good stuff.
I can think of. Keep on checking this. We're gonna try to hit you with some new cool shit this year.
Sure, I agree. Castro, anything else? That's everything.
That's all we got for now.
Bang. We're back.
Long live the Matrix.
Yeah, don't get
Long live the Matrix. And I was gonna say what a new character's name, Sec or Bugs, and none
I don't
of
remember him except for
them.
Bugs.
Yeah.
If she was
Long
the
live-
Defenders, I wouldn't remember.
Long live New Morpheus. I like him.
Neil Patrick Harris is real good too.
He was.
I like him too.
Yeah,
he was good too.
Yeah.
So New Morpheus, Neil NPH,
Yep.
and Bugs.
Colleen Wings. Shouts to her.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we are Call Out Culture. We'll check you next time.
Peace, black, black.